so much. I'm like, yo, when I get paid from something, you want kickback? And he like, nah, just find the next Devon Beck and pay it forward. So when I have conversations with other artists, or when I have, that's all I do. Right. You know what I mean? And it's genuine, and I really listen, and I really, you know, if somebody want to have a conversation, I'm like, I've never been above that. And I never understand why people get to a certain level and they think they can just be above, you know what I mean? I get having a standard, but you also got to be able to look at where somebody was, because I was there.
Exactly.
You wasn't always where you are. You feel what I'm saying? Like if somebody got a podcast and they like, yo, can you give me some tips? Imagine you being like, man, I ain't talking to him. You understand what I'm saying? Like for what? Exactly. It's like sometimes we gatekeep certain information, and for what? If you got the sauce, it's your sauce. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. You could give somebody the blueprint. If they ain't got the sauce, they just ain't got the sauce.
I tell you lies and it's just so toxic. You lie, I lie too. Girl, I don't love you. You know it's lies when I say it's just you. But don't be mad, boo. I once believed too.
First, let me make this clear. This is Robby Too Fast, and thank you for tuning into the Two Sides of the Heart podcast. DNS Soldier is on vacation. Today, we have an Eastern Shore legend. He hails from Denton, Maryland. Currently, he works for Talbot County, the Talbot County Board of Education, as the facilitator of recruitment, retention, and equity. He has his bachelor's in English telecommunications from UMES, HBCU. He has 3 girls, 1 younger brother. He's a part of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, Top 10 Community Health Board member. He's also a part of All for Love board. He's also an All for Love board member, Talbot County DSS board member, Frederick Douglass Honor Society board member, and vice president. Lord, he's married. He's also recognized as one of the 100 Men of Distinction, a Black List Award recipient, Iron Sharpens Iron Award recipient, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated Community Leadership Award. He has 1 EP, 1 album, 6 singles, and over 10,000 streams. Please welcome Devon Beck. How you doing, sir?
I'm good, man. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
I'm glad you're here, man. You truly a legend and an inspiration to me.
Man, thank you. I appreciate that, man. And I see what you're doing here. So, you know, you already on your way to doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. Well, we're going to get right started, man. So I just read all your accolades, but in your own words, who is Devon Beck?
First, I wouldn't be anything that people see me doing or the person or the man that you see. I'm not nothing without God, right? Mm-hmm. So first and foremost, my mom and my dad, they gave me a wonderful foundation, Karen and John Beck. You know what I mean? So I'm a son. Yeah. I'm a father, Ryan, Taylor, Skylar. You know what I mean? I'm a husband, Yolanda, and I'm a brother, Brent, but I'm somebody who I feel like I'm truly walking in my purpose. And every day my feet hit the ground, I want to make sure I'm doing my work. You know what I mean? And I don't want to, I know death is inevitable, but I want to make sure when my time is done that I've did everything that I was supposed to do while I was here. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's Devon in a nutshell.
Where did that drive and that dedication, who instilled that at you, or what experiences have you had that kind of put you in that mindset?
Well, unfortunately I lost my mom at 32. Okay. Right. And it demoralized me in a multitude of ways, because me and my mom were like this. Yeah. And so losing my mom, I had 2 ways I could have went with how I was feeling at the time. And and the thing is, grief is a sneaky thing. It's something that I still deal with 12 years later. But you have a decision to make, right? And you could either take that energy that you feeling and turn it into something negative, or you can also take that energy and turn it into something positive. Right. And so that's kind of how I got to where I am, like just taking all of that energy that I was feeling from losing my mom and again, my dad, real tough dude. Like my mom told me I could be whatever I wanted to be. My dad was telling me I was going to have to work hard to get it. So I grew up around the perfect yin and the yang.
Okay.
And that's literally what cultivated, like what people see today. Right. It's like without that, I'm not sure who I would have turned out to be.
Right.
You know what I mean? But my grandfather, Thomas Brown, worked real hard. My grandmother, God rest both of their souls, Alice Brown, she worked hard. They all laid a wonderful foundation for everything I'm able to do. And if it wasn't for them, I know without a shadow of a doubt, I wouldn't be where I am.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate them because without them, you wouldn't be here. So.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely. What's a question you wish someone would ask you, but they never do?
Oh, that's a good question. Probably how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
I think sometimes when you show up for everybody else, don't nobody really ask you how you are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's more of, and it's not a bad thing because if you figure out what you do, like you know, you show up for everybody else, but everybody isn't for you.
Right.
You know what I mean? But you have to learn that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I definitely think that, especially as Black men or men in general, it's hard. Not even hard, but like, you know, we're protectors, we're providers.
Mm-hmm.
And so it just comes natural for us to just do those things. But then sometimes, you know, somebody asks like, how are you? You're like, oh yeah, I'm good. But then no, like, how are you for real? And it's like, dang, you have to take a second to recognize and really break down. How are you really doing? You know?
Yeah. Because I think any man worth anything is going to take care of his family. Mm-hmm. I believe that wholeheartedly. Like I don't, like my family comes absolutely for, like anything that I'm doing, everything that I'm doing is literally for them. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like most of what I do ain't got nothing to do with me. It's what I'm supposed to be doing, but it's really about them. And sometimes it can get heavy because you feel like if it all falls, it's kind of on you.
Yeah.
You know, and that's pressure and it's weight. But at the same time, I feel good about what I'm doing because when I see my girls smiling, when I see my girls comfortable, happy, that's everything to me. Yeah. Like, you know, nothing is cooler than that to me. Like, I don't care how cool you think you are. If you don't take care of your people, you know what I mean? You're just going through the motions.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that goes to my next question. So what does it mean to you to be a father?
Taylor, Skylar, Ryan, being a father is everything to me. Mm-hmm. Because your kids don't ask to be here. Mm-hmm. You can only set them up and give them a solid foundation. And I mean, the same thing that happened for me, right? Mm-hmm. If I don't do what happened for me coming up, you know what I mean? Like all of this is for nothing. Yeah. You know? And if they're depending on me and I'm like dragging my feet or I don't deliver, I'm failing as a dad. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? And it's up to me to put them in the best situations. It's up to me to protect them. Mm-hmm. It's up to me to make sure I clear the path out. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I want to protect and provide. And that's everything. Like nothing is over that. Like how could you be cool if you don't take care of your kids? You know, it's a lot of dudes that, you know, I ain't throwing no shots, but you know what I mean? Like you walk around, you want to be in the club or do whatever. Yeah. And you don't take care of your kids.
Right.
That's sucker behavior to me. You know what I mean?
What would you say to young men, especially young Black men? How would you advise them on the importance of being there for their children or future children?
If you lay down with a young lady and you make a baby, regardless of whether y'all together or not together, how she act, like when you make those decisions and that child is here, the child is your number one priority.
Right.
That relationship with the mother, like, you know, I know how things get, but it's not the child's fault. Yeah. Don't take it out on the kid. And kids are always looking for not just money, they want you there emotionally. They want you to show them things. You know what I mean? Like kids, what I figured out is it ain't even about your bread. It's about your time.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? And the more time I can spend with my kids, like, yeah, money, I get it. Like you could do stuff and you could buy them all the stuff that you didn't have, all that. But the conversations that I have with my daughters, the time that we spend, the laughs, all that, that's priceless. You can't put a price on that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so my advice to any young dude or anybody struggling with that, man, just spend time with your kids. You know what I mean? It's time. It ain't money. It's time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have any kids, but I have 3 younger sisters and a younger brother. And the thing, one memory that comes to mind is we was all there for my middle sister's birthday, and we all got tattoos. And like we got a tattoo here. It says one of whatever, you know, whichever order we are in. But I don't even remember how much money I spent that day. I just remember the fact that we went to the museums, like we went to get the tattoo together. We went out to eat. And it's just those, you know, kind of speaking of what you're talking about, that time is what will be remembered in the end. You know, you're not going to have that dollar amount in your mind.
Nah.
You just remember all those memories.
You're building core memories. And if you think about it, all of like some of my best moments come from my memories that I have with my family, like coming up. And I'm a real nostalgic guy. So I love the 80s. I love everything 80s. I watch 80s movies. I like 80s music, all of that. But it's because I didn't grow up like I was the king of Zamunda or anything like that, right?
Yeah.
But I had everything I needed, you know, and I'm connected with the 80s and everything from the 80s because it's a reminder of when times were simpler for me. I need to create that for my girls. You know what I mean? And that's all I'm really doing. Yeah.
Nah, I definitely agree. Especially me being the oldest, it just, I try to keep us together. Like we have a prayer call, we pray every night, and you know, we get on there. The first thing we do is the prayer call. We joking off it.
Yep. Cutting up.
And it just like makes everything lighter. And just for that hour, you know, you forget about everything else that's going on, and just, you know, hey, look, like we got to stay connected no matter what. We all live different places, but we still stay connected through all that. And we're all adults outside of my brother, so that's very important because I talk to people. I haven't talked to my mom, my sister in 10 years. I'm like, I couldn't imagine.
And what I would give just to have a 5-minute conversation with my mom right now. And that's why I tell people, like, you could be at odds with, I ain't talking just anybody, but like your parents and all of that stuff. Like sometimes, and again, I want to tread lightly on that because certain situations are different than others. But if you could fix it, fix it.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Because time is the only luxury that we think we have that we really don't have.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? And we can waste a lot of time being upset or mad about something or holding on to something through pride and all of that.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just gotta let it go, let it be water under the bridge and move forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, how important is it to show your daughters how they deserve to be loved?
It's super important. I mean, I treat their mother, even, you know, through everything that we've been through, I've always treated their mother with dignity and respect, right? Because I don't spank my daughters. And it's because I don't want, as a man, like I don't want to hit them and then come back and apologize and, you know what I mean? Oh, I love you and all that, because I feel like that might set a tone for something like when they get older, you know what I mean? And I'm not sure. And this is my first time raising girls. So I don't know how this works.
Right.
But I'm very stern and I'm very direct. And so, that's, you know, I lean more on disappointment than I do, like physicality. You know what I mean? And I want, you know, obviously the way I treat their mother is flowers, is, you know what I mean? Dinners, and they see us hugging, kiss, you know what I mean? All of those things, because I want them to know that it's not just, it's not like, I don't want you to be over sexualized. I don't want you to be none of that. Like, you need to be treated with respect. You feel what I'm saying? And that's another thing for young fathers to understand. If you're not in your daughter's life or whatever, or your son watching you run this woman, run that woman, you turning them into womanizers and, you know, girls that's just gonna have daddy issues and doing anything. So that's kind of your job. You know what I mean? To show them different. Yeah.
How has going to an HBCU impacted your life?
Oh, best decision I ever made. Best decision I ever made, hands down. Yeah. So quick story. Back in 99, I was recruited by Frostburg State University to play basketball. Yeah. Like most people know me for rapping or whatever. I was a hooper. Yeah. And so I, had thought like that's where I was gonna go. Mm-hmm. And I had kind of made my decision to go there. I wanted to go to either Frostburg, Towson. UMES was literally my last choice because my cousin, shout out Kiana, she played basketball there. Mm-hmm. And so I applied there because she played basketball there. Right. And I just knew I was playing basketball at Frostburg, but I didn't know the game like that. Mm-hmm. So the coach that was recruiting me told me, I had all the bells and whistles, you're going to do all that. He ended up taking another job. Yeah. And so when the new coach came in, he like, well, I got 2 guards or 3 guards in front of you. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're welcome to walk on, but I don't know anything. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I don't want to do that neither. So I ended up just going to UMES. Yeah. And when I first got to UMES, it was kind of like, it's going to sound crazy, but I went to a predominantly white high school. Right. So, I mean, North Carolina's predominantly white. Yeah. So I still wasn't all the way comfortable, like at a HBCU, because it was like, it was like, I wouldn't say a culture shock, but I just wasn't used to that. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so that's why I was probably trying to go to a PWI, as we call a white institution. And so got to campus, and I love my wife. But I remember being mad at orientation, like, man, I am, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. And I'm standing there with my dad and we doing a little registration joint, and I'm seeing joints walk past, and I'm like, oh, I think I might be all right here. Because if you think about the Eastern Shore, man, girls that looked like me, the ones that was real attractive was related to me. You know what I mean? Or, I mean, they be like, that's your cousin, that's your, right. I got to UMES. I'm like, oh, she from across the bridge. She from Jersey. She from New York. They ain't related to me. So it was just a whole new world. And just being taught by Black professors was, I felt like they took care of me, in a way where education was put at the forefront of everything. And they gave me the confidence that I needed and everything that I didn't get in the school that I came from. Yeah. You know what I mean? I had professors that poured into me, that told me that they saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. Yeah. Shout out, rest in peace to Dr. Hedgepath. Rest in peace to Dr. Rose. I don't know if Miss Harmon is still alive, but these are the people, are the individuals that really, really, I mean, from what I'm doing today, if it wasn't for them, I'm not sure if I would even be in education. Yeah. Yeah.
I definitely see the importance in that. I ended up going to Salisbury, but like I came from Colonel, and then I go to Salisbury, but then COVID hits. So then I go across the bridge and I'm teaching over there. Yeah. But even before that, I went to high school 1 year in Baltimore, and that was the biggest culture shock, because you're going from Colonel to Baltimore. And it's like, different. Yo, you going from seeing 20 Black people in the whole school to
everybody.
It's 3 white people in the whole school. Yeah. Like, and so it's just, but then also like the importance you said, like, the things that they're not going to teach us, the thing that all the information that they're not going to let us know, it's all there. And it's kind of sad in a way, but it's also pivotal for why, I wish I would have went.
I tell everybody, I tell all my young Black males, like HBCUs, I'm like, yo, if you can go, go, you know what I mean? Because I just think it's a different experience. And we just went to homecoming this past weekend. Yeah. And it's like a family reunion. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I got to take my wife with me for the first time. So she got to see, like, she went to Bowie. Yeah. And then, I mean, she left Bowie and ended up going to the Air Force. But like, she got to see, like, it's just a big family reunion and it's love. And then I pledged Alpha down there. So shout out all my Alphas, my frat brothers, Nate, Keith, Efron, Craig, Jay. You know what I mean? Like, those fellas, man, like, those are the guys that I'm with, like, till the casket dips. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I talk to them almost every day. So I met some lifelong relationships there. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's all HBCU.
Well, that goes to my next question. So how has being a member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated impacted your life and the life of others?
Another great decision that I made, you know what I mean, is obviously when people do that research, they see how prestigious, like, and that's the first fraternity, and you know what I mean, first and the finest, you know what I mean. But it's been you know, with anything, there's things that you don't particularly like, but I can't say like just the brotherhood, man. Like wherever I go, like I'm good. You know what I mean? Like Alpha, you know, actually from what I'm doing, like changed my life. You know what I mean? Like Brother Hughes came to me at my mom's funeral and was like, I got you. You know what I mean? And from there, you know, now I've been motivational speaking and doing all that. Like that's an opportunity from an alpha man. You know what I mean? And not to say that he wouldn't have did that if I wasn't an alpha, but it's just, it makes the story like so much more poignant. Because I think we see these things in each other, and it's all you need is one person to give you an opportunity, and that can really change your life. You just got to be ready. You know what I mean? And a lot of people want opportunities. They just not ready for those opportunities. Right.
Yeah. So something that just came to my mind, because you talked about how you believe in God and you're a God-fearing man, and you're also an alpha. I don't know if you've seen, like, you know, a lot of people that denouncing their fraternity and everything. So like, what's your perspective on that? Do you feel like that kind of clashes with?
Nah, I mean, and what people are talking about is like, I guess some of the rituals that happen or whatever. And I get it. But at the same time, it's like if your relationship with God is your relationship, then you got that understanding of what it is. And I would never denounce God for, you know what I mean? Like not for letters, you know what I mean? and I get it and I understand it. But again, I think from a standpoint of people really didn't start denouncing their letters in droves until it like came out on TikTok. You know what I mean? I've known of people doing it before, but then it like ramped up like once it was a thing. Right. And again, everybody has their prerogative to do whatever it is they're going to do. But I mean, me, myself personally, like I wouldn't denounce my letters just because they're saying it's like I don't see that part. You know what I mean? But I get it. Everybody dives deeper into that than others. You know what I mean? And for me, I'm like, I got my relationship with God. I'm also an alpha. I'm not going to denounce my letters. I'm also not going to be like, I'm turning my back on God for a fraternity. Like that don't make sense.
Yeah, but I'm not in the fraternity, but I know my cousin, he's actually an alpha as well. So he kind of spoke on the same thing. And so I think with anything, like if you know your relationship with God, it's okay to also be a part of different things, you know?
Yeah. And again, like, I think sometimes people follow the crowd too, you know, or if you get misinformation about something, you know what I mean? And so I'm not educated enough on that part to be like, yo, I'm done. You know what I mean? But I actually got a homegirl that told me she denounced her letters, and AKA we talked about it. And, you know, I respect her decision. And there's no love lost there. None of that. You know, it's just a decision that you made. We talked about it and she told me why. And, you know, let it be that, you know.
Where does your love for the community and the next generation stem from?
Just watching my dad, watching my mom, watching my grandparents, just how I think a lot of it stems from one, watching them, but two, is I don't like complaining without solutions, right? And I think a lot of people complain, but if you ask them what they're doing, they're not doing that. Like you just sitting back, judging and complaining about certain things, but you're not doing anything. Like, what are you specifically doing? Like you ever met somebody that they could tell you, they could critique everything you do, right? Oh man, they doing this wrong. They doing that wrong. They doing that wrong. You ask them what's the last thing they did. They ain't done nothing. You know what I mean? Like that's frustrating to me. So I think it's cool to try to do something, or if you see a hole somewhere, you see something that needs to be changed, you try to change it. Don't wait on somebody else to do it.
Right.
Like what you do it.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, once you challenge people in that way, they kind of shut up. You know what I mean? Because it's like, if you ask them what's the last thing they did, they like, oh, nothing.
Right.
But critique what you doing. You know what I mean? So I want to be the change that I wish to see. You know what I mean? Like if I'm out here degrading my community, I can't expect it to be built up.
Right. You
feel what I'm saying? So mine is more about trying to build the things that I want to see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely think that's important, especially I was a teacher in Baltimore City, and that's actually the last year I taught, but that was rough. But the thing that was sad to me is that like being with those kids, like I understand now. Like I get why it's so hard. It's not as simple as that they're hard-headed or kids aren't bad. It's literally their environment. It's everything you see around you, and then like one of the best things I ever did while I was teaching was I became a track coach, and I could see the respect and everything shift as they're like, oh, okay, you care enough to, they don't think this, but inadvertently it's like you care enough to stay after school with me to, do something that's fun. And so now these kids that wasn't listening when I was just their teacher, now I'm their coach. Okay, we in coach class. Hey, look, I don't know what they do to other 6 classes, but this class, I'm going to do what I need to do. And I still keep in contact. This was like 4 years ago. I still keep in contact with them today because it's like, they want somebody to be proud of them, and they want somebody to, share their accomplishments with. And like the one kid, one of the fastest kids I ever seen, he wasn't going to run track. Like I had to beg him because I had another fast kid. He was like, man, you think I'm fast? It's my best friend faster than me. And I said, come on, man, just come out. And if you don't like it, now he be running track all across the country and stuff. And I'm like, dope. That is so crazy. Like all it takes is that one person to care enough. And now you could usher to change somebody else's life.
And just it's so significant for kids to hear, I believe in you. Yeah. Right? Because unfortunately, some kids go through their whole day and walk past so many adults that don't do nothing but look down on them. Yeah. Right. And think of how hurtful that is. I had a young lady and her mother just today. I'm going to the barbershop and they stopped. They was like, we was just talking about you a month ago. Yeah. And she get on the phone and she called the grandmother and like, Mr. Beck's here, and this young lady, I think I worked with her 7 years ago. And she's telling me how she's in school now. She's going to be a music psychiatrist and all of these things. Right. And they was like, we was just talking about you a month ago. I worked with them 7 years ago. Yeah. So you think of the impact of what you've done. And sometimes as adults or as educators, like we do things and just go on with our life and you don't understand the impact that you've had on that person and that they're happy to see you. And they're, she calling people on the phone like, Mr. Beck, you know what I mean? And again, I don't say that to brag, but I was thinking about it while I was driving here. Matter of fact, like, sometimes you don't understand the impact you have. Yeah. And it might be a small, not minute thing, but the fact that people want to see you, they want to share what they're doing and they're doing well. That's everything. That's community. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Especially like, I don't know if they were Black or not, but
yeah, they were.
Yeah, but saying when you see somebody that's like you as well, because like two stories I got. So one, directly with you, like I don't know if you remember when I first started making music, me and my best friend, my co-host, he's not here, we hit you up and you gave us a like some advice. You were like, yeah, like y'all different. Like it's refreshing to hear what y'all talking about, because not a lot of people talking about that. So for me, it's like, you see rappers all the time, but no, like you went to my rival high school in North Carolina. Yeah, like you're reachable. Like I go through Denton all the time with somebody from Denton, and you really can rap for real. Yeah. So seeing somebody like that telling us that we are good, that just pushes me further. Yeah. And then something else too. Shout out Miss Chester, my gym teacher in 6th grade.
Stephanie Chester.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like she AKA. Shout her.
Yeah. And she was my mentor, and like I remember coming in from 5th grade to 6th grade. Everybody watch out for Miss Chester. Miss Chester's so strict.
She mean.
Yeah, she mean. She hate people. All that. Man, Miss Chester got to be one of the she really helped me realize like my potential in track. She pushed me into track and all this other type stuff. And it's just like, I don't even know if she knows like how, because she taught my mom, my aunt, my cousin, and then me. And she really just spoke life into me. She's like, look, Robby, like, like you're different. Like you're not like all these other knuckleheads. Like don't be falling into this, And so it just took her, the mean teacher, but she really cared though.
And sometimes people look at mean or stern as like, you don't like people and all that. It's because those people don't let other people run over them. You understand what I'm saying? Because if you just the pushover, everybody sometimes like the pushover, right?
Yeah.
But if you have a standard, and that's how I am with every kid that I come in contact with, I'm not lowering the bar for you, right? I have an expectation.
Yeah.
That expectation is here. Yeah. I'm not giving you a crutch.
Yeah.
Because those crutches ain't really gonna serve you in the long run.
Yeah.
Because I done been out here and I know how the world is.
Right.
The world really don't care. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
At the end of the day. And so those tough teachers, you gotta really appreciate those tough teachers and the ones that's really pushing you to be your best self or your highest self. Because some people just let you just go along and get along. And it's not really about that. It's about if you see potential in somebody. That's what my mentor told me. He's like, I'm like, yo, what do you want from me? Right. You know what I mean? Because he was helping me so much. I'm like, yo, when I get paid from something, you want kickback? And he like, nah, just find the next Devon Beck and pay it forward. So when I have conversations with other artists or that's all I do, you know what I mean? And it's genuine and I really listen and I really, if somebody want to have a conversation, I'm like, I've never been above that. And I never understand why people get to a certain level and they think they can just be above, you know what I mean? I get having a standard, but you also got to be able to look at where somebody was because I was there.
Exactly.
You wasn't always where you are. You feel what I'm saying? Like if somebody got a podcast and they like, yo, can you give me some tips? Imagine you being like, man, I ain't talking to him. You understand what I'm saying? Like for what?
Exactly.
It's like sometimes we gatekeep certain information and for what? If you got the sauce, it's your sauce.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. You could give somebody the blueprint. If they ain't got the sauce, they just ain't got the sauce.
Right. Exactly. And then also too, I think people, that's an insecurity that's within them. Like they're scared that if you give them this, then that takes away from what you're doing. But it's like, nah, if anything, like I've had people that have podcasts. They're like, what equipment you use? I'm gonna send it to you because why can't we all?
And the thing is, you just said it. You have to be confident enough in your own ability. I know any room I walk in, I'm supposed to be there.
Yeah. Right.
And I know, if it's rapping, if it's speaking, if it's whatever I'm doing, I'm putting 150% into that.
Yeah.
And, on my worst day, I'm still where I need to be. Right. And that's just how I carry it. And it's not an arrogant thing. It's just, you have to be sure about who you are in a world that will tell you on a daily basis that you're not.
Exactly.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that's how I show up every day.
Yeah. I think one more thing before my next question, something that Miss Chester told me, we was in 7th grade. They were like, you want to know why I push y'all so hard? We're playing basketball for her. She's like, because they like, whoa, y'all just 7th graders, but then you'll just be a 9th grader and then you'll just be an 11th grader.
Yeah.
And then you'll just be a college student. It's like, nah, like it starts now. Like you said, I'm not going to lower the bar for you. The bar is here. You got to reach that, whether you 12 or 18 or 25, like you got to keep, having that same standard for yourself.
No, you have to. And again, it's not cocky or anything like that to have a standard for yourself. Cause it's just certain things I ain't doing. You feel what I'm saying? Like, no, I ain't doing that. I'm not there anymore.
Right.
And some things you have to move away from. You have to separate yourself from people. You have to do all of those things. And those things aren't always comfortable,
right?
Especially when you're growing. And again, if you squander your potential, it's a slap in the face to the people who believe in you.
Exactly.
You feel what I'm saying? And a lot of people squander their own potential because they waste their time with people that don't mean them no well. You know what I mean? And that comes with age because you have to learn it. You have to learn it and you have to see it. And even at 44, you know what I mean? I still have to check my own self. Like, nah, man, we ain't doing that. It's important.
Yeah, I think that's a stand I've held for myself since 6th grade. Is just, people always say like you don't do certain stuff, and then also too the people around you don't recognize that. At first they might scrutinize you like, oh, you think you above, but then the people that are really for you, like one thing I never did in high school, like I never smoked weed. That was just my thing, because my great grandmother, she was like, before she died, she was like, don't be like everybody else. So I just hold that standard. So then we get to 12th grade, and I had a girl best friend, shout out Celebrity. We be at parties. They be like, look, if anybody pass Robby the blunt, you gotta see me, because he don't do that. Yeah. Like, you don't pressure him into doing that. Yeah. Like, that's not what we doing.
That's how I was about. It's funny you say that, because that's how I was about drinking and all that in high school. And I ain't gonna say no names, but I had some individuals that showed me the ropes of what that was. But I was the athlete. I was, I was just different. So they was like, all right, so cuz this is what it is, but don't do that. You know what I mean? Like, so that ain't your thing, but this is what it is, and I'm gonna show you what to look out for. Right. And I learned that in 9th grade. I'm sitting there like, oh, all right, so you roll it. All right, I see that. I see what you're doing. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I just never partook in that. You know what I mean? And people respected it. And I think sometimes the coolest thing you can do is make people respect you for being you. Yeah. And not trying to fit in. Right. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and I never had to do all that to get respect from the people who did that, if that makes sense. Yeah. Like, it was like they disrespected me for who I was. Yeah, exactly. And I even till this day, like, I don't got to do what everybody else is doing. I don't want to do what everybody else is doing. Right. My preference is to be in the house. Yeah.
What's the decision that changed your life, but it almost didn't happen?
Me, being a public speaker. Like I literally was like, nah, I'm going to go a step back further from that. I was teaching geometry. In this level 5 school. Right. And, I mean, these are kids that have been kicked out of every school in Maryland. So they would stab you. They would fight every day, all that. Right. And, I felt like, I was doing that job, and I felt like I wasn't making an impact because it was just so high intense all the time. Yeah. And it's hard to work in an environment like that and teach and feel like you really making a difference. Right. So that was the first job that I ended up quitting, that I didn't have another job. Now, from my generation, when we quit a job, you only quit a job when you got another job. Yeah. Most people don't quit a job and they ain't have another job. Right. So my same frat brother, Dr. Hughes, he reaches out and he's like, hey, I got this position at an elementary school to be a family and student liaison. I was like, absolutely not. I don't want to work with no more kids. Right. Yeah. And he called me twice. And I was like, thank you, but no thank you. Right. Right. Then I start looking at my bills. I got a family. Yeah. He calls the third time, like, you sure you don't want this position? You interview it. I think you would be perfect for it. I'm like, I'll do it. Yeah. So Sandy Hill Elementary School in Cambridge, Maryland. I get there and I got hired in the summertime. And so I'm sitting in this real big room with a little desk and this big folder, right? And I'm like, yo, what am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. Like, but the thing was there, they wanted me to connect school with the community. You know what I mean? There was a disconnect there. So my job was to get the community, like, win people over in the community, talk to people, help people out in the community, and get them more comfortable with coming into schools. Yeah. And I'm like, man, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Ain't nobody gonna trust me here, right? But the thing that changed, and I still wasn't sure about it, I was still on the fence about it. Yeah. The kids showed up, right? And all those young black males that was in there, I was like a magnet, man. Yeah. Like, and I Khalil just graduated last year, and Khalil was this little dude, like maybe 2nd grade, cornrows, and he was like, "You all right?" And he came and gave me a hug. He won't admit it now because he's too cool, but came and gave me a hug. And I wasn't used to touching the kid. Like, where I worked at, you couldn't touch the kids. Yeah. In public school, like, kids would give you hugs and all that stuff. And Khalil and his little crew, like they would eat lunch with me every day. They would eat breakfast with me. You know what I mean? And slowly but surely, I looked around and I'm like, yo, I'm the only black male in this school other than the custodians. And that had a profound impact on me because what I found with that is I started finding purpose. And through that position, I built a lot of relationships with the family. And that also goes to what I just told you about the young lady that I seen today. She was at Sandy Hill. And those families still love me till this day. And 2 years ago, I got to do their commencement speech at Cambridge. And shout out to Stover and bruh Everett Young. They invited me to do their commencement speech, and these were the kids that I had when I first got there. And so it was like a full circle moment, but that almost didn't happen. Like, so from that, you know, if I didn't work at Sandy Hill, I wouldn't have went to Talbot County Board of Ed. I wouldn't be the facilitator of, I was DEI, and now I'm facilitator of recruitment, retention, and equity. But none of that happens if I don't go to Sandy Hill first. So I almost didn't take that job. And, you know, it's a testament to, you know, sometimes people can see things in you that you don't see for yourself.
Absolutely. And
another thing, them bills gonna come every month. So I'm grateful though. I'm grateful.
What's something you've healed from you never thought you would?
My mom passing. And I would say healed, but you know, the first couple of years, man, I don't wish that on nobody. I don't. Because you know, and even thinking about the football player that just passed, the Cowboys player, and they was talking about his mom passed 2 years ago and all those things. Like, people don't understand how, if you're really, really close with your parent, and anybody that's lost a parent probably knows about this. It's like, it's a paralyzing thing. And, through therapy, I figured it out. I wasn't grieving correctly. You hear all the stuff that I do. So I thought if I stayed busy, I wasn't dealing with the emotion from that. And I finally crashed from it. You know what I mean? And it was anger, frustration. I'm fighting, stuff that I wouldn't primarily do. And, I just thought that's just the way it was going to be. But through therapy and all that, I figured out that I wasn't grieving correctly. You got to allow yourself to sit in it and feel what you feel. And you have to be open about it. You have to allow people to help you out with it. And you can't silo yourself in grief. You know what I mean? It has to be something where you can lean on some people and, you know, I still have my waves of moments, even 12 years later. You know what I mean? Something will happen and my first thought is to call my mom. You know what I mean? It's not as intense as it used to be, but if I did something, I remember I performed at the Howard Theater. That was like my dream venue, but it's like to have that high is followed by a significant low. And people don't understand that. They're like, this is the happiest moment of your life. Your happiest moments are quickly followed by, I don't have the people around that I thought would be here to celebrate it with me. So that's something that I healed from that I never thought, you know, I couldn't see myself, like even me giving that response, I couldn't see myself giving that response 5 years ago. You know what I mean? But I'm here now.
What's some advice that you would give to Black men with dealing with our emotions? You know, it's so hard for us because we're taught to, you know, I'm a football player. Like, you know, I get hit, I get back up. Like, you can't cry in that moment. So how would you, what's your advice to Black men with dealing with their emotions? You
gotta break that cycle for the next generation of people. Like, I think sometimes our definition of man is skewed and it's wrong because we think man ain't supposed to cry, man ain't not supposed to hurt and all that. I'm like, God wouldn't have gave us those emotions if we wasn't supposed to use them. You feel what I'm saying? And so I look at my own father and how just through generations how he grew up. Like, they wouldn't have went to therapy for grief. You know what I mean? My dad lost his mom at 4 years old. He lost his sister, I think he was 9, in a house fire. You know what I mean? So there's cancer at 4, house fire at 9, you know what I mean? Displaced from your family, all of those things. And there was no therapy for him through that.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? And so he learned to like shelve certain things.
Yeah.
Where me, I'm a different generation of that.
Right.
So I couldn't. I wasn't as strong as he was mentally with certain things.
Right.
So mine came from, I had to talk to a professional.
Yeah.
But again, that is part of breaking the cycle.
Yeah.
Right. My dad did a phenomenal job of rising from that. He just retired. He worked, you know what I mean? Built and had everything that our family needed.
Yeah.
But he didn't have the therapy part.
Yeah.
My job, my generation was to do the therapy. And we gonna go to therapy. We gonna do that. We not just gonna muscle it, because you can't always muscle it.
Yeah.
And so that's what it is. Like, just make sure you open and honest. And if you feeling certain things, talk to people, you know, and don't just listen. Don't just get on Facebook and vent. I'm a private person.
Yeah.
People might think they know a lot about me, but I kind of give them what I want them to know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But social media, I don't feel like is a space for that. I feel like talking to trained professionals that could really help you would be the best. You know what I mean? And if you're not feeling right, be honest with yourself. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't douse it in alcohol and partying and sex and all of that.
Yeah.
Like, cause that really ain't the way, because all you're doing is compounding that. It's just gonna turn into something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely think, my co-host, like we go to each other, and like we really like creating this platform came from us really just challenging each other and like asking, like, you know, like I think in the beginning I would always go to him, but he'd be like, nope, I'm cool. But then these past 2 years, I hope he's not mad for me airing him out, but like he really opened up to me, like, yo, like I'm not okay. Like I actually cried today. Yeah. And I'm like, that's real though, because, you know, men are supposed to cry. Now, right now, I have a very toxic way of dealing with that. I cry once a year.
Once a year? What's the day? What's the specific day?
It has to be like, you know, maybe,
you just get one cry.
Yeah, I get one cry a year. Okay. Yeah. So
you better stop holding that in, man. You better let it go.
Now, I will. Like when I become more successful, I'm gonna go ahead and let it go.
Nah, here the thing. The thing is, like, even with that, like crying, sometimes we can look at crying as a weakness, but everything make me cry. And I look at my girls, like Sky came home. This is like a couple months ago. And was like, she got captain for JV cheerleading. I cried. You know what I mean? Like, and you would be like, why are you crying about that? But it's like, you think of the beauty of life, man. Right. Like over here, I ain't cried, but I was like, while I was driving here, I was looking at the sunset and how beautiful that is. Think about how many things that we don't take advantage of or don't, you know what I mean? Because we just always in this, like, nah, man, you gotta let that go, because it's more of just appreciation. And anytime, like having 3 girls, man, I get to cry all the time. They give me, like, I see something and I'll have something that reminds me of my mom, or something happens, I cry, man. Like, and I don't know if it's that. I don't know if it's I hit my 40s, because in my 40s, I'm gonna cry. For real, man. I let it go, man. I don't hold none of that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think just me personally, I feel like I'm just in grind mode right now. Yeah. So I just need to, you know, like if I need to, if it really come out, it come out. But I just feel like right now, I don't.
You just focus.
Yeah. That's all. Like,
and there's nothing wrong with that.
I don't think there's nothing wrong with crying though.
Nah,
I just know hey, look, if I am going to cry, all right, you got this moment, but you got to get back to doing what you need to do.
Well, that actually goes, shout out my brother Shane Bell, man. He says that all the time. Like, he's like, don't stay stuck. You know, like if it's a dilemma or something you got to do, something you got to change, don't stay stuck in that. Yeah. Like, give yourself a moment. It's okay to have a moment. Yeah. But from that, then go and do what you need to do, because I think sometimes we can get stuck where we are, and it's important to just like feel what you're feeling, but you also gotta make something shake.
Was there ever a time you felt like giving up?
Yeah, for sure. Like, I think, musically, you know, losing my mom, you know, my marriage being on the rocks, not realize, like being 15, 16 hours away from my girls, like, you know what I mean? Having to move back in with my dad before I got myself together. Like, you know, there's a bunch of moments, you know what I mean? But, I think sometimes we have to realize that it's just a moment. A bad moment don't mean a bad life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, some things are humbling, but sometimes you need to be humbled because you're not on what you're supposed to be on. You know, and like I told you, I think before we started, like sometimes redirection is God protection. You know what I mean? Like it's certain things that I really, really wanted to happen that didn't happen. And I used to be like, oh, why? But now I can see it. I'm like, I see what you was doing, you know? And so, there's multiple times that I wanted to give up, but I think now I understand like what my purpose is. And my purpose is not to give up. And sometimes you gotta see how it play out. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think too many people give up before they see how it really play out. And sometimes the other end of it is way better than you could ever imagine. Yeah. It just looked messed up at the moment.
Yeah. I think last week I had a moment of giving with this podcast, like, cause I knew, like, you know, there's a lot of people we interviewed this week that like, I was like you, a couple other people like Buff, oh dang, I shouldn't have said that. But there's a lot of other people that I was excited about interviewing. I'm like, man, but then like, I had to go to the hospital a couple weeks ago, so my check was a little short. So I'm like, dang, how we gonna get down here? Cause I live in Baltimore. So I'm like,
you live in Baltimore?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
you making that hump. Good. Yeah. But again, I didn't mean to cut you off. Yeah. But that right there, what you just said, that mean more than anything, right? Because most people will be like, yo, I'm not doing all this and coming from all the way there to do, you know what I mean? Like they shortchange themselves when you never know what could happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And think about how many people, you ever seen that image where somebody is like plugging away at something and it's a whole bunch of diamonds behind the joint, but they give up right before you hit and you get all the diamonds, like, or they pulling up the thing and it's a big carrot there. And then they like, man, they ain't worth it. Yeah. But how will you know if you don't see it through? Right. And most people don't see things all the way through because you say, all right, I'm gonna do this. And you do it for a couple months and it don't nothing happen. So then you like, man, I quit. I'm on to something else. Exactly. When you really didn't take the time to like really see how that's going to shake out. Yeah. So sometimes it's, and your story is kind of parallel with how my music thing went because I was driving back and forth to DC and, man, like I thought I was going to get the record deal. I thought I was going to get all that. Yeah. And it didn't happen. Yeah. But that didn't mean that I wasn't still able to do what I wanted to do musically because I still did everything that I thought I was going to do musically without that. Yeah. But if I just gave up, none of that other stuff would have happened. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I agree with that, dude. Cause we a month 10 of this and like, you couldn't, I was like, I got Devon Beck on my podcast. Like that is crazy. Or just like now we're starting to, like people are asking us to come on. Yeah. Like what? Like, and in my head, like, you know, sometimes you see yourself as just, like when you're in the midst of doing what you're doing, you don't really see other people are seeing us like what you like. In my head, like we need $200 mics, like we need cameras and all. Yeah. People like a dude I interviewed yesterday. He was like, "Man, I might gotta call you actually about your equipment." I said, "My equipment, like the stuff I'm thinking that's not even." But like I said, we only in a month 10, and it's like, but it's ready to start. Like who knows what it's gonna be in month 30?
Absolutely. My advice to you is to sometimes you miss enjoying the moment. And the moment really, like, you know how you talk about, like, I want to get to the point where I'm real successful and all that. Like you get there and then it'll just be something else. You feel what I'm saying? Like, so you really have to enjoy the journey And most people don't enjoy the journey because they trying to get somewhere, but they don't appreciate where they are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it might seem like a grind and all that. And then once you get there and it's all the glitz and the glamour and all that, you're going to be like, man, it's just more stuff they throw in the game. Mm. And you know what I mean? It's like, you might get there and you like, man, I ain't even happy doing that. I liked it when it was just when I'm doing my different setup. You feel what I'm saying? Mm. So it's just like enjoy the moment where you are instead of like worrying about that. You know what I mean? Like that's way off. Like, that's in your crosshairs, but you also got to make the most of the moment that you in.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I wish I would have did differently. You know what I mean? I was so focused on the next. Yeah. Then I look back, I'm like, man, I did all that and I wasn't even happy. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. I think that's something we try to do. Like something I think about. I'm like, I'm gonna miss setting this stuff up when I have a team. Like, it's gonna be nice to rest, but like, it's fun. Like setting all this stuff up and then looking at how we transform this living room into a little podcast studio, like, or just seeing, you know, people in your neighborhood, like they look at you as little, whatever. And like, I'm just so proud of you. Yeah. You know, like all those moments, you know, it is going to go by. I am looking forward to being able to just walk in here and then, and then just be like, all right, we ready? Yeah. Let's go ahead. But
that's your driving force. You know what I mean? So when you feel like giving up, it's more about like, it ain't where you like sometimes we work according to how we feel. Mm-hmm. Not according to like where we really want to be. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? And everybody that you see that is successful has made some sort of sacrifice. Yeah. You know what I mean? Has been through the part that you're talking about right now, because you can't get there. It's like nobody just wake up and be like, all right, I'm going to do this. And now it's just like they got to put that work in. No. So it's definitely work.
Especially, and it's a Bible verse. I don't know specifically what it is, but it's like basically saying that those who get money fast, you know, it dwindles fast. Yeah. But those who gain money over time, it'll last forever. Yeah. So it's the same thing about this. Like if this happened real fast, it probably
you ain't gonna appreciate it.
Yeah. Or people that get like people that are overnight success. You see them on TikTok one day, then the next day you don't.
I just seen something yesterday. A dude, it was some dude. I guess he was doing like viral dances or whatever. Yeah. And he was talking about he fell off because he had to go get a job. Mm. And I'm like, that ain't falling off. That's more honorable than, you know what I mean? Right. Anything else. And that's what social media has kind of done to us though. Mm-hmm. Like we think that if somebody got millions or thousands of followers, if they go get a job, they less successful because you had to go get a real job. Yeah. Like, no, because people with millions of followers, that don't always equate to bread either. You know what I mean? It's just notoriety. People know you, but that don't always equate to money, and people could be confused by that. Mm-hmm. And I think the most honorable thing you could do is work until you can get where you want to be.
That's me right now.
Yeah.
When I get done with you, I got work to do for my, for my job.
That's how I go, man.
But it's fun than this, you know? Yeah. And so like, you know, and people, they be like, you do this full time? I'm like, nah, I don't. Yeah. Nah, I just edit after work. Yeah. I just post the videos and they're like, then you still working the job? I'm like, yeah. How you think I pay for all this stuff?
Listen, I was on tour with Meek Mill, Wale, and Big Sean. Mm-hmm. I had to go to work on Monday. Right? You know what I mean? But and people would see like, and this is back in 2011. Mm-hmm. So I would do that. I would go to like Bowie. I went to Lincoln, all that, and have the dopest weekends ever. Yeah. But then I had to come back and go to work. Right. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm like, nah, my weekends are pretty cool. You feel what I'm saying? But if you don't go through that, you don't appreciate it the same way. I don't think. Yeah. You know what I mean?
How do you show love in the many roles that you carry? You know, you're the oldest, you're a father, a community leader. You know, how do you show love in each of those roles?
Just be genuine. Mm-hmm. Like I show genuine love. You know what I mean? It's like with me, I think some people can be manipulative in how they get things done. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And that's never really been my way. My way is to be to show genuine love to people in each of those roles. You know what I mean? Like I want to be a solid stand-up individual, and I want to treat people how I treat people how I would want people to treat my kids. Yeah. Right. And like I just want to be solid. You know what I mean? I don't want to, like, because I think some people think to get ahead, you kind of got to be slithery and do all that other stuff. I don't believe that. I think there's a lot to be said for somebody who could be a solid individual through every facet of their life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I pride myself on being solid, being who I post to be. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not an internet dad. You feel what I'm saying? I don't post food for thought quotes and then go and do some other stuff.
Yeah.
I don't tell, I'm just what you see is really what you get. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I try to maintain it. And I think being that way is way easier to lift than to have a facade or do something else. You know what I mean? Like, nah, just be solid.
And I feel like I can attest to that because I think this might be my 4th time seeing you in person. The first time was at Colonel. The second time was at UMES. It was at a boys conference.
Oh, okay.
The third time, I feel like it might have been at the 100-minute distinction.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Yeah. And this is my 4th time. And you the same guy each time.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing changed. I ain't heard no bad Devon Beck stories.
And again, the only bad Devon Beck stories you will hear is people probably ask me to do something for free, and I'm like, nah, this is my fee. Oh man, he ain't for the, like, nah, man, I can't eat those pats on the back all the time.
Hey, look, it costs money. Like, there's some people we got on the list. Like, look, when they ask us about this, it's $100 off rip.
Yeah,
but it's not even trying to be like, who do you think you are? But it's like this stuff costs.
Nah, and here's the thing: if you running a business or you doing any of those things, like, you're running a bit, like, it's, you know what I mean? You got to make money off of some of the things you do. And one of the things my mom told me when I was younger that didn't make sense until I got older was your gifts will make room for you. I didn't know what she was talking about. I'm like, what are you talking about? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, and I remember having a conversation with my dad. He's like, hold on, people pay you to talk? Like, you come and talk, like, cause he would be like, hold on. So you sit upstairs, like when I first came, he's like, you sit upstairs and just write? I'm like, yep. And they pay you to do that? Yep. And he's like, it just didn't register. But now, like, my dad comes to all my speeches.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he gets it now, but he was like, what? You know? And again, man, like, you just, I pride myself on that. Like, I want to leave a positive impact wherever I go. You know what I mean? And it's not about, people pleasing and none of that, because I'm pretty sure I didn't piss people off or whatever. But I also just want to be authentic to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't gotta put a facade on or be nobody else. Like,
right.
I enjoy being Devon. You feel what I'm saying? I don't want to be nobody else. Yeah.
So I got a question based off that. Like, what do you think about, like, code switching? Do you code switch, or do you think it's an issue for people to do that?
I used to code switch harder, if that makes sense. I used to code switch harder, but now it's more about just being who you are in the room and understand that you can take up space. And if people are uncomfortable with who you are, like who you genuinely are, and not, you know, like if people be like, oh, I'm Devon Beck, you know, like, nah, it's more now. I think I got enough skin in the game now where people kind of know what I stand for and where I'm at. And now what I will tell people is, in certain situations, please conduct yourself in a business-like manner. I'm not saying you gotta, you know what I mean, be whitewashed out of none of that. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is you got to read the room. Read the room. If you're trying to get a job, if you're trying to, like, don't go in there with the, you know, like, dress it up. Like, you know, like, but you don't have to compromise who you are to get where you want to be, if that makes sense. I don't believe in that. Like, I am who I am. And you got to make people respect you for it. You know what I mean? And that's all I want is respect. You know what I mean? You ain't even gotta like me, but you gonna respect me.
Real life. If you were to leave a footprint on this earth, what path would it lead to?
My footprint, well, the path would lead to people fully being themselves. I want people to be Beck excellence, obviously, is Beck excellence, but it's B. But every time somebody hears me speak, I want them to be reminded to be themselves. Right. And just understand that your story is poignant in its own way. All of us have different paths and different things that have led to where we are.
Right.
But I just want people, my thing is I want people to just be comfortable with being themselves, man. You don't got to people please. You ain't got to do none of that. Be you and the world will adjust if you're you. And that's the path I want to lead. Like, just be yourself, man. That's it. You ain't gotta fake no roles. And I see some of y'all out there faking. but again, if that's what you're comfortable doing, you see I look right in the camera when I say it. If that's what you're comfortable doing, by all means, God bless. Over here, we're not doing that. It's more, it's no facade. It's more just being who I am. And you know, the world will adjust to who Devon Beck is. And I'm not gonna shrink in any room. I'm not gonna dim my light in any room. I'm not gonna do none of that. And that's what I want to encourage other people to do. Right. Let your light shine, man. If you got it, you got it. If you don't, you don't.
Yeah. I think speaking on that and going back to the code switching, like, you know, when I first meet people, I probably won't have these earrings in, and I probably won't have this chain. But then even with this on, I'm still the same person now.
And unfortunately, you bring up a good point though, because unfortunately, sometimes being who you are leads to stereotype. And I'm talking for black men, black women, or whatever. That leads to a stereotype. And a lot of times when I'm in a suit, I probably I don't have to wear a suit every day. And I don't. But if I'm going to a school, I make sure I have a suit on because, and it's not because I want white people to respect me or whatever. I want the young black males to see me and be inspired by that.
Right.
Like, yo. And again, nothing wrong with being a janitor or nothing like that. Yeah. But I need them to see us in different roles as well. And so when they see me, I want them to be like, yo, he don't teach. He not a principal. Like, yo, what Buddy do? You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, he work at the board office. You know what I mean? So there's other places that you can work within the educational space that don't require you to teach. Right. It don't require you to do anything other than be at the board and I recruit, I'm retaining, and I'm, you know what I mean, doing the equity part. So
yeah, I think it's very important when I was teaching in Baltimore. It's also important to show young black men how to be professional and be a professional setting. Because like one of the first things when I got there, they were like, I hope I don't get in trouble for saying this. They were like, "Are you gay?" And I was like, "Why you say that? Like the way you dress, I ain't never seen nobody dressed like that. Like, why you got on Vans? Like, why?" I'm like, "Cause I'm teaching. Like, I'm at work right now.
Right.
Like, if I'm at the mall, I have on some Air Forces.
Right.
In this setting, this is how I choose to present myself, and it don't mean I'm gay.
Right.
It just means that this is how I am. But I think the biggest thing with that is they had never seen a black man dressed like that. Yeah, like all their uncles have on Air Forces and you know white.
Oh yeah.
And ain't nothing wrong with that at the crib. Yeah. But in this setting, though, this is how you present yourself. Yeah. If you're trying to, you know, get a job, or if you at certain jobs, you know, or you know, like you said, like you show that standard. Like this is how I dress. And it's like, well, what you do? Because why you got that on? Like, oh yeah, now or even sometimes people will mistake me for the principal because like I have on a suit and they're like, you the principal at the school? I'm a teacher.
I get it all the time. Like they be like, yo, you the new principal? Like, no. But you know what I mean? But again, I had a young first grader, he was a white guy. He was like maybe first grade. I walk in his school. He was like, are you a billionaire? You know what I mean? And it was kind of like, to me, that's important, right? Because he saw me in a suit and he equates that with success and all of those things. And I was like, well, first, no, I'm not a billionaire. But he was like, yeah, billionaires got a lot of resources. You know what I mean? And just first grade. And he talking like that. But again, just the importance of showing up and him seeing and us really having that dialogue and that conversation. He won't look at, I mean, he might, because you don't know what happens at home. Right. You feel what I'm saying? But just his perspective of when he see a black man in a suit and all that, you know what I mean? It's like that means more than anything, you know what I mean? And I'm telling you, anytime I put on a suit, it's literally so our black males can see me and go, all right,
Yeah.
I don't know what he do. I need to figure it out. And so that's really where it comes from.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We ask this question to all our guests. It's the last question. Finish this sentence. Love is
the key to life. Love is essential to keep you afloat in certain situations. Love hurts.
Mm-hmm.
Love can also heal.
Yeah.
So love is all purpose. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And love is exactly what got me where I am.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? I've always been surrounded by love. Yeah. I know what hate is, but I've been surrounded by love my entire life. And I am beyond thankful for being surrounded by that love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every time somebody answers that question, not just, I'm always amazed that hurt part. I feel like people don't talk about that hurt part. And so then when they get hurt, they like, you don't love me. And it's like, no, it's because I love you that you're able to be hurt by the things that I do.
Oh man, listen, heartbreak is tough.
Yeah.
That's probably the toughest thing that you gotta go through. You know, other than death, you know what I mean? Heartbreak is hard, you know, but I think through that you learn a lot about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those things that you have to sit in. You have to be honest with yourself. You gotta be real with yourself, but you also gotta fully understand where you are, because you could crash out if you're not careful. You know what I mean? So love shouldn't confuse you. You know what I mean? Love shouldn't be one of those things that you know takes you out of your square, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like it should be your foundation. It should be your anchor, man. Like it keeps me grounded. You know what I mean? And like I said, like my household right now, they tell me they love me every single day. Yeah. Every single one of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's pretty much all I need. Like the rest of the world could fall off as long as I got them for. Hey, I live with a lot of women, but as long as I got them in there, like holding me down, man, I'm good. That's all I need, honestly.
Yeah, I definitely think it's important too, as men, to tell each other we love each other. You know, I don't tell my co-host yet. I'm not there, but like, you know, I definitely I just started telling my dad this year. Like he used to always tell me, "I love you." Like, all right, I see you later. But it is important though to tell him. Like I was just on the phone with my little brother before you came. Like, you know, just to call him to let him know that he's cared about, and then also just in general, like my maternal grandmother died in 2011.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that hurt me through the grieving process, I was like, I don't remember the last time I told her I love her.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but my cousin, he was like, but do you think she knew that you did?
Right.
And that meant a lot, but still, I still make sure to tell everybody like that I love them, so that, you know, and then sometimes also you don't know what people are going to do.
And listen, my mom, she was she was in and out of the hospital all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And like my dad didn't used to always say I love you. You know what I mean? My mom was like the big, and like I said, my dad's just hard nosed, blue collar, you know what I mean? And I remember one night we were sitting there and she had a stroke, so she couldn't talk. Mm-hmm. She couldn't say a word. But this is how, like, my mom was an angel here. Like, there's no way. Like, my mom could, I mean, man, I got a million stories about that. But this particular night, my mom, like I was sitting on one side, my dad was sitting on the other side. And she took my hand and took his hand and put it together. Mm. Right? Mm-hmm. And was like, she would kind of mouth the word love. Mm-hmm. So ever since then, we say, I love you. You know what I mean? Like, and like, I'm telling you, like that. And every time I talk to my dad now, you know what I mean? I love you. I love you. I make sure I tell everybody I love them. You know what I mean? Because you don't know.
Yeah.
Do not know when the last time you get to tell somebody how you feel or what they've done for you.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so I'm at the stage in my life where I'm big on gratitude every single day. I'm thankful for everything because I know ain't none of this promise. It could all be gone tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I tell everybody that is around me that I love them, and I make sure I show love. You know what I mean? That's the realest thing you could do.
Yeah. Well, I really appreciate you. Is any
man.
last messages you have or anything you want to shout out?
Just shout out my girls, Taylor, Skylar, Brian, my wife Yolanda. Thank y'all for, being my foundation and my rock and where I'm at in this new, you know what I mean? I just hit 44, so I don't know what 44 got in store for me, but you know what I mean? We just gotta keep doing what we do, man.
Yeah.
And they support me, and my family, my friends, and everybody that's been rocking with me thus far, like stay tuned. It's a lot more in the tank. So
absolutely,
we going on a run.